Good afternoon and welcome to Winnacott Oval, Winnacott Reserve, presented by Probe Drill. I'm Mark Fernandez and this is Franchising with Fernandez, our community series. And I'm lucky enough to have with us today for our pre-game franchising show from the Gym's building inspection, the Yokine area, Brian Taylor. Brian, welcome.
Thank you, Mark.
Great. So Brian, Gym's building inspections, what do they do? What do you do?
Main thing is for pre-purchase, people who are buying houses, we go in there and check the whole house over structurally, make sure there's nothing structural. We then do normally a timber pest, so if there's any termite damage in that house, we pick it up. That's on those ones, on pre-purchase. On new constructions, when people are building their own houses, we go in and do all the different stages, 4 main stages, to make sure that house is being built to the proper standards.
Right, wonderful. And Brian, you've won a couple of awards. You've won the Franchisee of the Award for 2017 and 18, I believe. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Wow.
2009.
And 2019, so 3 in a row. Wow, fantastic. Congratulations.
Thank you.
So today's all about franchising. So Brian, what made you buy into a franchise versus going out on your own and starting your own business?
When about 6 or 7 years ago, I've been doing this for 6 years, so about 6-7 years ago, I was doing a lot of site managing in commercial, and it was very fickle at the time. So what happened was I saw an advert to be a Gym's building inspector in Melbourne, and I just gave him a ring and I said, are you thinking of coming to Perth, and wanted to know more about it. So next minute they're over here interviewing us, so
Yes.
and I thought, it sounded a good one because most people know about Gyms, so
Yes.
it's got a really good name in Australia. And anyway, at the start it was getting out, trying to get out there and sell Gym's building inspections, because no
Yes.
one knew it. They all thought I was coming to mow their lawns. So. And yeah, so that was one of the reasons. I'd had my own business a few years ago doing framing and all that.
Okay.
So I did know that you can, to run your own business, you're
Yes.
going to need a fair bit to get going, and with a backup like Gym's, I think it fitted in very well.
So did you have to be a qualified builder to become a Gym's franchisee?
You don't. The rules in West Australia is you don't, but Gym's is now making sure it is. I'm a registered builder,
Yes.
So I've done it for a long time. So
And it helps, I guess.
it really helps, because you got to know what you're talking about and where to look and what you're looking for. So.
And in your area, in the Yokine area, there's you, and in Western Australia, how many other franchisees in the building inspection franchise group?
I think there's about 10 of us.
Right.
2 new ones have just started.
Yes.
There's the 3 original ones from
Yes.
what we all started 6 years ago. So the 3 originals are still working, and then there's been a few come and go along the way.
Yes.
But at the moment, I'm pretty sure we've got 10 guys.
Right, wonderful. And the Gym's groups, as you spoke about before, I believe we're up to 54 separate divisions, including the lawn mowing, the gardening, the pest control, the pool fencing, the antenna man. Wow, fantastic. So do you guys get together at all on a national basis or share ideas, or how does that kind of work?
Not really. We normally have a conference every year just with the Gyms Australia and New Zealand.
Yes.
And and normally with the timber pests.
Yes.
So really, if they're around, we catch up and
Yes.
that. So we've had a couple
conferences
where there's been more than just us.
Yes.
In having lunches together.
Sure.
And having a catch up and talk about everything. So.
And I guess it's all about sharing ideas.
Yeah.
And sharing war stories and problems and issues that franchising brings, right? Do you guys get together and, talk about it in different areas?
Well, yeah, normally a few of us are on the phone every week, or if someone has something on a job that they're not
Okay.
clarity. They need a bit of clarity to it.
Yes.
They will ring us up and we'll talk it over and say, oh yeah, I've had one like that. We did it this way. So
Great.
yeah.
And that's probably what another advantage of franchising. Franchising brings that ability to share ideas and share issues and problem solve as a group. Whereas if you're out on your own, it sometimes could be a little bit lonelier to try and get those answers.
Get those answers, that's right. Because every house is different and that, and there's different things on every house that we pick up at different times. So we do, as a group here in Perth, we have meetings every 6 weeks, and anything that's new or coming up, we talk about in our meetings. So.
Yes, great. So that keeps everyone on the same page, if you like.
Yeah.
And what are you discussing? National issues, state issues, what's happening?
Yeah.
That kind of stuff.
Yeah, all over. We've just been getting a new app, the best in Australia, the new app for all our reports.
Okay.
And it's been sort of ongoing for about 12, 18 months. So there's been little hiccups along the way, and we all talk about that, it's now coming a very good app. So it's easy to use. We get our apps out.
Yes.
And, our reports, we got to get them out within 24 hours.
Yes.
So,
All right.
Yeah.
Okay, well, that's a pretty quick turnaround.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, and who's driving that turnaround time? Is it the customer, or is it internally, or is it both? Or
really not. Well, we offer it as one of our things. That's what we do.
Right.
We get our reports out within 24 hours to you, unless there is a little hiccup. But I don't think I've ever really not gone over that 24 hours. I get it out pretty quick.
Okay, there you go. Well, you're stalwart of the industry. You've been around for a long time, and as an inspector and as someone who's been in the building industry for a while, I'm sure you know where to look and what to do, and I guess that comes back to having right advice, isn't it?
It is, really, and knowing that advice. There's all the Australian standards, of course. We got to go to all them. We got to know a lot of that sort of stuff.
Yes.
So if we see something that's not quite right, we go back to the Australian standards.
Yes.
And we'll, pick it up that it's not right. So it needs to be fixed.
Okay, and Brian, let's talk a little bit about your business. So how do people get in contact with you? Is there a 1300 number, or how do people find you?
There is a call centre at Jim's.
Yes.
And 131546 is the call centre.
Yes.
And they ask for Brian.
Yes.
Directly for Brian. Or they can go to my Google business page and just look up Jim's Building Inspections Yokine, and they'll get my page.
All your details?
All my details of what's on there, and they can get in touch with me that way.
Great, and that comes direct to you?
Yep.
Okay, great. And then you're out and about and do your thing.
Doing my thing, yes.
Okay, so one of the other advantages of being in a franchise group is this thing called head office support, and helping you with marketing and helping you with lead generation and local area marketing. Can you just tell us a little bit about what you've been exposed to that other businesses don't generally have?
Well, we do a lot of where they sellers and all that, of course. Every month we pay a fee to get us out there.
Right.
And this generates our leads and that to the, to everyone.
Yes.
So we just we'll get a SMS to say this lead. We chase it up, and whether we get it or not. But I'm not on Jim's very often. I've got enough contacts after 6 years that I don't need to use Jim's very, very often. So
yeah, good. And has Jim's helped you personally with your networking and helped to make you a better business person?
I believe they have,
Yep.
because, as I say, I do B&I and I
Okay,
do a
yes.
lot of networking with you,
Yes.
a lot of your networking and that, so
Thank you.
it does help me.
Yes.
And, with B&I, it's good, and as I always say, everyone knows gyms.
Yes.
And it is run properly and that, so people trust gyms as well.
Yes.
So
Yeah, look, and some numbers that we're privy to, they have over 5,000 franchisees in 5 different countries, if you like, and still growing. And, turned over, I think it was 500 million in the last financial year. So lots of work, lots of franchisees, lots of wonderful things happening in Australia. So Jim Penman certainly is an icon in the franchising space. So let's turn our attention a little bit towards some of the issues facing franchising right now. There's so much noise going on, there's so much distraction, and there's lots of media around all things franchising. Has it affected you in your business?
not in a big way, because
Yep.
as I say, I have, I've got a lot of my own contacts. I sort of,
Yes.
they ring me all the time. I've got, quite a few different companies who ring me all the time. So
Yes.
a lot of that other stuff doesn't really affect me in
Right.
a big way. So
That's great. So business is normal, business is good, or
Yeah.
trending okay?
at the moment, the last probably because of WA's been on a bit of a down, as you know, down here, there's
Yep.
not been the confidence in Perth.
Right.
And I think it's been, it's sort of showing in figures and that. This
Yes.
year I'm down definitely on last year's figures, of
Right.
course, but I'm still doing okay.
Plowing away.
Yeah,
Yep.
carrying away. And so that sort of thing, of course, is affecting a lot of people.
Yes.
People are losing jobs,
Yes.
they're just not buying at the moment, and because of the costs of houses are pretty low, they haven't been that low for a long time.
Yes.
And people just cannot afford to sell their houses.
Yes.
So that's what's happening, and people can't afford to build at the moment. So there's been a big downturn in the actual building construction side as well.
Yes. So is that why people pick up the phone and want to talk to you? It's when they're buying a new house, or they're leaving an old house, or coming into a rental. Is that the main reason?
The main reasons, yes.
Yep.
And a lot of, what we do is help, especially first home buyers.
Yes.
People don't know, they just get told, oh, you got to go get a building inspection and
Yes.
do this before they buy the house. So,
Yes.
And that's why we're there too. We help them through the system of, of their first home buy, and try and make it the easiest we can for them, and sell them, that it is there, and we can help them to the full hilt, of their first purchase. So.
Great. And hopefully those customers may come back in 5 or 6 years.
Yes.
That's sort of the turnaround time for your clients, isn't it?
A lot of times, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, you get a few. The good
Yep.
ones are when you go and do someone's house, and
Yes.
the people whose house they're buying
Yes.
take your card and they
Okay.
call you. So
Okay.
you're getting business,
Yes.
double business. I think I went four in a row at one stage. Just
Wow.
people handing cards out
Yep.
at the houses, and they see, I do a thorough job, so they're happy with what I do. So.
Yeah. Well, that's why you're good at what you do, Brian. So, congratulations. Right. Let's talk a little bit more now about franchising and why should people get into franchising. Go back 6 years ago, perhaps, Brian, when you started, and what you've learnt on this whole journey. If you had someone coming up to you now and saying, hey, look, I'm thinking about getting into franchising, what tips or what would you tell them as, some of the things to watch out for, perhaps?
Probably the biggest is it doesn't sort of work overnight.
Mm-hmm.
You got to put the hard work in.
Yes.
You can only have so much backup. The biggest thing is your business. You
Yes.
need to get out there and sell yourself.
Yes.
And no one's going to really until you get a name out there and people, oh yeah, this guy is good. So until then, you really need to put in the hard yards, just get out there and meet everyone you can that could help you in your time and that.
Yes.
So, and yeah, so from there, so that's probably one of my biggest tips is
Right.
just, you know, it might take a year, but once you get going,
Yes.
you just have to keep on top of it too. So and know that your business is the best it can be at the time.
Great. One of the myths that we try to dispel is, well, I've brought into the brand, the doors are open, where are the sales? Come on, aren't the sales coming to me? So can you talk us through a little bit of the early yards that you had to do to establish some sales, to pay the bills?
And that. Yeah, so when I first started, my biggest thing was I used to go to every home open in my area.
Yes.
On the weekends, during the days, and just go and meet the real estate agents.
Okay.
Because they do sort of
Yes.
use us up and that. So, but yeah, that was probably one of my biggest things. I'd go to every home open in that area.
Wow.
And just leave my cards there with
Yes.
and I got a few. I got one guy, one real estate agent. He said he was so impressed. He said, I've never seen a building inspection come to a home
Yes.
open. And he actually come to one of our gym's meetings
Right.
to talk to us. So, yeah, so those sort of things are, the good things to get out there
Yes.
and sell yourself.
Yep. Okay. So now let's flip it the other way now, Brian. If someone that you think maybe isn't suitable for franchising, maybe that you think that they're the wrong type of person, because franchising's not for everyone, as you know.
Yep.
So what do those type of people look like? What are their sort of attributes or aspirations for the people that you would say maybe franchising isn't for you?
Yeah, well, it depends on, like, I know in building inspections, you've got
Yes.
to have background in the building.
Right,
Yes.
So your industry knowledge you're talking about.
Yeah, a lot of
Yep.
industry because,
Yes.
we're doing all different types of work.
Yes.
We're forever doing different training so we can upgrade ourselves.
Yes.
So that's probably one of our biggest things is that, people, have to have that background.
Yes.
Because it's no point going into a roof and go, what's that? So
What's that? Where's that?
what is that called and stuff like that. So,
Yep. Great. Well, franchising is also about a hierarchical positioning, if you like. So there's the franchisor, and then you've got franchisees, and you've got all the way down, down the food chain, I guess.
Yeah.
So people in franchising have to follow systems
Yes.
and processes and procedures and compliance, and how did you handle all of that when you first came in?
Well, of course, it's not easy. I hadn't been doing my own business for a long time, so there's a lot of things that you have to do with your business to start with. And as you're saying, with the franchising, there are rules that we have to go to.
Yes.
So you just have to do it because you're doing a franchising, so you've got to comply to what they want, and that way at least you're out there doing the right things.
Yeah, look, and you're right, Brian, and sometimes it's a time where people have to follow the system because the system's bigger than one person, and there is a reason for the system. It's probably tried and tested and it works, and there might be 10, 20 or 500 people in the system, and if everyone's doing the same thing, you've got half a chance of getting more market share or growing your business or even growing to another area. So Brian, are you able to grow into a different territory or another zone if you wanted to?
Well, what all really is that you buy a zone,
Yes.
but we go everywhere.
Right.
I've worked out the other day, I've been to 270 different suburbs
Wow.
to do work in, and that's
Wow.
in the country. I've done country jobs as well, so
Yes.
I'll go anywhere I get asked to go.
Right.
But mainly throughout, we can go anywhere.
Yes.
That work is our work,
Yes.
so we can go anywhere. So
Right,
you
well-
just have your own territory. You buy a territory,
Yes.
and from there you go on from there. So
Great. Because some franchise systems are restricted to like an area, a territory, or even a marketing zone that you can't do anything outside those boundaries. And some of the franchise systems we're talking about may be a retail shop that's in a shopping centre, so obviously they might have an area that they're only allowed to do some marketing, which makes sense. So that's wonderful. Okay. So, Brian, where to from here with you?
Oh, with me, I'm just, I will be looking to retire probably when my knees give away and I can't crawl through those roofs anymore. But I'm just, I just want to power on with what I've got. And, I've built up, I think, a very good business. So I'm just wanting to keep going with this business, and as I say, I've got a lot of contacts. Because I've been in it for a long time, and they keep coming to me to do their work.
So no aspirations to take over the WA franchise roles in any of the 53 other different divisions?
No, not at the moment, no. I'm happy where I am. I love what I do. I've been doing it for over 45 years, building games, so this is what I know. And it's good for me, and also with the wife, look, we're not sort of stuck down. We love travelling, so we get away and do a lot of travelling and that. So with this job, I can work around, the time of the year when things are slow. Which is round our winter, we can go over to Europe and it's their summer, so we're getting the better weather, and it's slow here, so it's not as bigger problem. So.
And is your business like that? Is it seasonally where the winter is, where there's not much activity?
There is times.
Slightly?
There is times. We do know. Probably the next few weeks. Of course,
Christmas.
Christmas is always, everyone shuts down anyway. No one's out there buying or selling. So, but winter can be a bit that way. And then normally spring is when people are out there getting their houses ready. Houses look the best with plants in, of course, so they're out there selling. And they should be the big time from now, from sort of October to Christmas is when it should be really booming. This year's been a bit slow, as we talked about before. So,
Great. Okay, Brian, well, fantastic. It's been wonderful to have you here today and talk all things franchising with you. Very inspirational journey that you've led, and to get to today, winning 3 in a row, the Gyms Building Inspections Franchisee of the Year for WA, or is that the country?
For WA.
For WA? You probably need a national award in there somewhere, so we might have to put your hat in the ring for that. Great. Well, ladies and gentlemen, please thank our guest, Brian Taylor from the Gyms Building Inspections, the Yokine area, for joining us on our pre-game franchising show. So, Brian, thank you for your time.
Thank you very much for inviting me to have this talk today.
No problem, and you know how to get hold of Brian. If you can't, then please send us an email at mark@bda-online.com.au. I'm Mark Fernandez, and this has been Franchising with Fernandez, our community series.